Good evening, good evening, good evening. You're welcome to Good Evening on Route 360. And this time around, we're talking about spiritual wellness. Spiritual wellness is a platform where people get the opportunity to share their thoughts about spirituality. And this time around, we're talking about Christianity, and we are talking about the topic, is there life after death? And I have with me in the studio the one and only Pastor Julius. Pastor Julius, you're welcome.
Thank you, Naneria. I'm glad to be here.
Is there life after death, Pastor Julius?
So that's a very brilliant question. Thank you so much for bringing this up. See, when you study the book of Genesis, people in the Old Testament, they don't have a clear understanding of life after death, because God told Adam that you came from dust and you return to dust. So they were assuming that once a man dies and is buried, that's the end of the whole thing. But you ask yourself a question. Man is not only the body. Man is a soul and a spirit, according to the same scripture. So that was talking about what will happen to the body. The body returns to the dust, and we see that all the time. Okay, later on, Solomon came to talk about the fact that the spirit or the breath, the breath goes back to the Father. Then, Old Testament folks were assuming that if the breath goes to God and the body is in the soil, the person is dead, is not conscious of anything until the resurrection. That was the truth that a lot of people knew until Jesus tackled that issue in Matthew chapter 22. From verse 24 going down, you are going to see a very brilliant question was put to Jesus. They came to ask Jesus a very brilliant question about life after death. They came to Jesus with a question that there was a woman who married a man, and after marrying the man died. The woman went on to marry 6 other men. So they came to ask Jesus this question, that in the resurrection, who is this woman going to be married to? Jesus told them that in the resurrection, men will not marry. Then he continued, he said, you make mistake about life after death, that topic, because you do not know the scriptures. Neither do you know the power of God. Then he continued to say that God said, I am the God of Abraham, I am the God of Isaac, and I am the God of Jacob. And Jesus continued to say that God is the God of the living and not of the dead. So if he's saying he's the God of Abraham, and he's the same Abraham that at that time was talking, Abraham was dead for many years, but he said God is the God of the living. That means that Abraham was alive even though he was dead. You see this even in Luke chapter 16 verse 19, where someone who died, a rich man who died, was able to speak to Abraham after his death. So Jesus came to explain the concept of life after death, that when men die, there is a conscious part of them, and it is only people who understand the scriptures and the power of God who can understand that topic of life after death. God is the God of the living and not the God of the dead.
So basically, according to the Christian religion, there's life after death. Yeah. After the soul, after the body decomposes, or after the body goes away, there's still life, and that life continues after the person is gone. So we've learned a little bit more about spirituality, we've learned a little bit more about life after death, and we're finding out more on this very channel. We'll be bringing you back to talk to us some more about this subject, because I'm sure that there are other questions that people are looking to answer, like, where is that life? Where is that life located? What does heaven look like? There are so many questions that people have, and we'll be answering them all as we go along on this show. So stay tuned. You'll be finding out more. We'll be bringing Pastor Julius back to share some more light on this all-important topic. But for now, Pastor Julius, your final words.
Yeah, so in understanding scripture, you need to do a lot of background work. You need to study the Bible for yourself, study the Word of God for yourself, and God is going to show you the truth.
Fantastic. So God is going to show you the truth. Study the Word for yourself. Go as deep as you can. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15 says, study to show yourself approved unto God, the workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Study, study, study. No, no, no. Go, go, go. We wish you all the very best in this journey of life. Stay strong. Stay blessed. Goodbye.
Goodbye.